HAMR T1 Heavy Armor Multi-Role Tank, HAMR, or T1 for short, has room for one pilot, one tank commander, and two gunners in the armored canopy of the tank. It is an excellent offensive vehicle. It also can serve effectively in defensive roles because of its diverse weapon systems and thick armor. It can be used in anti-armor, anti-fortification, anti-infantry, escort, defensive, and transport roles. The HAMR T1 has an advanced repulsor system and optional light shielding and costs 150,000 credits. The standard issue HAMR T1 has 4 sets of armaments. The first is a forward-mounted anti-infantry repeating blaster mounted under the cockpit of the tank in front, which has a 270-degree firing arc. The weapon has twin fast repeating blasters and a heavy gauge cannon built in next to them to increase damage with heavier armor. The second weapon system is the heavy-mounted Bunker Buster Mass Driver Cannon. This enlarged version of this weapon has greater damage capabilities than its predecessors and is mounted into the body of the tank to increase stability, durability, and aerodynamics. The third weapon system is the dual side-mounted mid-range turbo lasers located on both sides of the tank. These are versatile cannons that have 90-degree firing arcs from side to side and a 120-degree firing arc up and down, which allows them to serve as effective defense weapons from ground and air targets. The fourth and final weapon that comes standard on the HAMR T1 is the top-mounted anti-infantry cannon with a 360-degree firing arc, which is manually operated from the top hatch. There are optional armaments that can be added for greater effect depending on the mission. Pictured here is an additional mortar pod mounted on the back above the rear thruster. Here's another look at the forward turret, the anti-personnel turret located underneath the cockpit. You can see the different types of cannons that are there, along with the spotlight as well. Just another look at that, and that's really used to clear the way for the tank of all the infantry that might be trying to shoot at it. Here's another look at the heavy-mounted Bunker Buster Mass Driver Cannon, located right next to the cockpit, kind of offset, kind of asymmetrical. You can see the rounds that are ready to be fired there in kind of that revolver-looking cylindrical piece there. This is, I imagine, to be a very heavy cannon, but it's built inside the tank, really part of the main body of the tank, just to give it, like I said earlier, the durability and increased stability. And here is a side view of the tank where you can see those side-mounted turbo laser cannons, the medium cannons. These are positioned on both sides of the tank and, like I said earlier, have that 90-degree firing arc from side to side, and they can move up and down as well. So they are really great for defensive firing as well as offensive firing as well. They're in really good positions to take out targets on either side of the tank as the tank's approaching, say, any type of structures or troops that are embedded into any areas. So, like I mentioned before, you've got a lot of options on extra armaments on the HAMR T1. Here is the mortar pod, if you will. You could also put in surface-to-air types of missiles, rockets. You can see that there's a place for forward-firing rockets as well. So there's a lot of different options that any type of army could upgrade this tank to include any types of guns that could attach to the back of that or to the front as well. I also want to talk about the interior of the HAMR T1 a little bit. In this short clip here, you can see that it's got some cargo pods inside, and it can fit about 3 cargo pods depending on how you fit them in there. This tank can serve many different roles. It can be a cargo transporter, it can be a troop transporter, as well as a heavy assault tank. There's about 6 troops that can fit inside that heavily armored section if it doesn't have any cargo pods in it. And this is a repulsor lift tank, but there is another version of this tank that one could purchase as well, where repulsor lift tanks might not work as well, right? So you might want a tracked tank for various missions as well. So yeah, it's a very versatile tank. It's very heavily armed, heavily armored. It's also fast. The repulsor lifts actually, you can get some good speed on it. It's very aerodynamic, and yeah, it's a very useful piece of equipment. Thanks for watching Brick Cave. This is the first video on the channel. We'll be talking more about LEGO MOCs and sets, so stay tuned for more videos. I have a very large backlog of sets to open, build, and review. I also have a large collection of MOCs I've built to talk about and would love to get your feedback on these. I draw a lot of inspiration from Star Wars and other science fiction types of films. I have a lot of different ship designs and other in-universe ideas and designs to talk about and explore with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these MOCs and models, and love to get the conversation started. So would love to explore these and see where it goes. So thanks a lot, and see you soon. Keep building better.